Okay, so today we've got a really fun game called Mr. Goodman's Rock and Roll. Now, it's quite complicated, so we're going to have to go through it slowly. I've made it up already, so I'm just going to copy things and take apart to show you. But basically the game is you have your plane in the sky, there's rocks that will move towards it. It's a bit like one of the old 1980s arcade games, and you have to shoot the rocks before they get you, and the rocks going at a variable speed. So what we need from an idea of sprites, we're going to need the plane, the rock 4 times, and an orange square just to be the shot of colour that comes out and destroys the rocks. For the stage, you're going to need 2 backgrounds. You're going to need background number 1, which is the sky, and background number 2, which is the sky with game over written on it. Okay, so let's have a look at the scripts on the backgrounds to start with. So we're going to broadcast from the plane when it gets hit. So when I receive end, switch background to background 2. When green flag clicked, switch background to background 1. That's all the coding on the stage. If we move across to the plane, we have a variable called score, and we say when flag clicked, set score to 0, go to X and Y, so that's the X and Y coordinates, so you just go up and down in this position here. And then we have some, let me just copy this for you so I can take it apart. You have some chunks within the repeat until. So we got repeat until touching rocks. Okay, so these are the rocks here, and it will keep going up and down. Now you can put one of these in because we've got 4 rocks. In fact, that would be more sensible. So repeat until, I'm just going to get rid of that. And what I've got here is just touching rocks, touching sprite 1, sprite 4 and sprite 5, which are the rocks. And I've just put 3 ORs together. So if I go into operator, I can find OR. And it's literally, we're just saying if touching this one or that one or that one. And then we put the blue touching rocks in. So if I go up to sensing, and it says touching rocks, there we go. And that just fits really nicely into the logins there. You can see how that's made up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this for a minute. Duplicate the whole thing. There we go. And I'm going to drop it in there. Okay, now I'm going to put this back in here. It needs to go in the other end. There we go. So what I've got up here is I put it out in 2 separate scripts so you can see what's happening. So in this script, which will be the good one now, and I'll put that one over there, we're saying repeat until touching any of the rocks. So it's going to keep be able to go up and down until we see any of the rocks. And then we have key up arrow, and you've got all in this drop down menu here, up and down arrow, change Y by 10, and then key down arrow, change Y by -10. And if you remember, Y to the sky, that's our up and down axis. So that shows us coming up and down. So now there's two chunks within here. You do the first one, then copy it, then just change it to down arrow and -10. That is the code for the plane. Alright, so let's just give it a go. Let's see, yep, that's locked. Good. Right, so the plane stops moving once the rocks hit it. Now, if I go to the rock code, go back to the plane for a minute. So the broadcast, this is where we broadcast end for the stage. So when I receive end here, remember that broadcast is just the computer talking to the computer. Right, so what I'm saying is if it touches any of the rocks, broadcast end, and that will switch it to the second costume. And it switches back when we do that one there. Okay. Let's go to the rocks now. Now the rock code, again, I'll copy it so we can take it apart. We're going to say, when green flag click, go to the area over here. So when we put the rock over there, it's x197y minus 132. So the x is the across and the y is there. So when we click the flag, they all line up. Okay. Then we're going to say show. So that's the first part of the code. Now in the forever loop, we've got an if else. So we're saying if sprite 2 touches, now sprite 2 is our laser plasma shot or whatever, it's just our orange square. We say change score by 1 up here, which is our variable, then hide, play Alien Creek sound. Now to get the sounds, go into sounds, say import, and you can use any sound you want. It doesn't have to be the ones I've used. And you just choose a sound and say OK. Okay, we've got Alien Creek 1, Alien Creek 2, and you might have different sounds if you're using Scratch 3. Then once you've imported a sound, you can then use the sound blocks to put it in. Okay, so within this we've got play Alien Creek, wait 1 second, go back to the start, and then show again. And this is the loop that starts the rock back again once it's been hit, or once it keeps going. Now else, so that's if touching sprite 2, else just move random 3 to 6 steps. If you want a more challenging game, you can increase the speed of it here and bounce on edge, and that just keeps it going backwards and forwards. So if I just move the plane out of the way, you can see that each one of these rocks has got a different weight on it here. So that's wait 1 second, wait 1 second, wait 1 second, and this is wait 1 second down here and 1 second up there. So they all start at different times. There we go. So the first half in there is change score by 1, hide, play sound, wait 1 second, go back to the beginning, then show. Else, move, pick random 3 to 6 steps, and if on edge, bounce. And that is more or less, yeah, you've got to wait 2 seconds up here for this one. No waiting up there for that one, and wait 1 second for that one, just so that they start at different times. So this is the area that changes up here. Now if we go to the little orange square, and let's just take this apart. So what we're doing here is, I've got a separate one here for when when flag clicked, hide, because we don't want to see the bolts until they come out of the plane. Then I'm going to say when spacebar pressed, play sound pop, could be any sound you want, you need to import it. If you remember, import sounds. Go to -160 on the x-axis, that puts it back here where the plane is. Then we want to go to the Y position of sprite 1, which is the plane. So it's exactly the same as we used in the parachute game. In the parachute game, we said start the parachute at the plane. Now this time we're starting the laser bolt or the orange bolt at the plane. So once we've gone to the plane, we're going to say show, and then we're going to say repeat until touching edge. So it's just going to keep going until it touches the edge. So we're going to repeat, move in 10 steps until it touches the edge, and then it's going to hide. So that's quite a really good game. It's quite simple, but we're just building on the variable for the score and for making it seem as if different things are happening. So I'll play it once more. So I'm going to move out of the way, because I can move out of the way of them now, and I'm game over. So let's play again. So now we can actually shoot from scratch using an orange square, using that repeat until. How many can I get? 5. That's me finished then. And then you can build up your score at the top. And remember, like I said, if you go back to the rocks, you can make them faster. If I said 3 to 10, then it would be faster still. Okay, well, have fun with that, and I'll talk to you later.